At midnight, the man woke up to go to the bathroom. Then suddenly 2 thieves sneaked into his house. As soon as he grabbed a golf club and prepared to call the police, he was spotted by them. The thieves pointed a gun at him, forcing him to put down the phone and obediently hand over cash to keep himself safe. The man said the money was in the dish on the table, but it was only loose change. Obviously, the thieves were not satisfied. They snatched the man's watch but accidentally exposed a tattoo on the wrist. At that exact moment, the son suddenly resisted, wrestling with the remaining thief. The man took advantage of that moment to swing the golf club. He could have knocked the thief down but hesitated to strike, and even told his son not to take risks. The child released him. The wife heard the noise and ran out. Seeing her husband so weak, she could only beg the thieves to take everything they could, as long as everyone was safe. The 2 thieves cursed and left. The man quickly locked the door tightly. His weak behavior made the son unable to understand. "Dad, what's wrong with you?" Even the police mocked him, sarcastically saying that next time he should lock the garage properly. In the wife's heart, resentment surged. Why did she marry such a coward? This made the already strained marital relationship even more tense. Even when sleeping, they had to use pillows to separate them. But was the man really a coward? Absolutely not. His name is Hutch, once a top CIA agent. 20 years ago, while on an assassination mission, he did not follow orders and spared the target's life. After that, this target reformed, got married, had children, and lived a happy life that Hutch greatly admired. Therefore, he also decided to retire early and live an ordinary life. For 20 years, every day, he went to the company on time to work as an accountant, left work on time to go home and cook for the children. The monotonous life had faded the couple's affection and also worn away his sharpness. Until today, when 2 thieves broke into the house, Hutch chose to endure humiliation to protect the family, but it made his son think that his father was afraid, and his wife also had prejudices against him. Only the little daughter still loved her father. Every time she went out, she did not forget to hug him. Hutch silently endured everything. After the family left, he angrily threw away the uneaten breakfast. The neighbor heard that his house was robbed and boasted that luckily the thieves did not come to his house. Otherwise, he would make them taste defeat. The brother-in-law, who worked as a security guard at the same company as Hutch, contemptuously gave his brother-in-law a gun, telling him to protect his sister and nephews. Hutch took the gun and casually put it in the cookie box in the refrigerator. Facing countless doubts and mocks, Hutch did not care. He was just protecting the family in his own way. Back at the office, he locked the door tightly and opened the secret walkie-talkie in the cabinet. Inside, the voice of the contact, who had also retired like him, rang out. The incident last night spread very quickly. The contact wanted to know how the incident happened. Hutch said the thieves were a man and a woman about 30 years old. The woman was holding an old gun that had not been used for a long time, and moreover, the magazine was empty. That was why he did not act. Although the family was safe, this incident plunged Hutch into immense sadness. The latent aggression in him was about to erupt. In the evening when he returned home, the daughter said that her cat-shaped bracelet was lost. Before that, it was placed in the dish containing loose change, so surely the thieves had taken it. The daughter was Hutch's treasure. He could no longer endure it and went out to the nursing home to find his father. From the box, he took out his father's expired identification papers, a stack of cash, and a handgun. Seeing his son regain his spirit, a gleam appeared in the old father's eyes. Hutch went to tattoo shops to find people with a bird tattoo on the wrist. Several shops in a row said they had never seen it. He continued to ask one by one. The owner of this tattoo shop seemed to have connections. The old soldier next to him was even more astute. The tattoo shop owner glanced and recognized the expired identification papers, and moreover, the photo on it was not Hutch. He thought to himself that today he encountered a troublemaker and raised his steel fist. The 2 burly guys behind also itched to fight. Hutch calmly took out cash and said that he just wanted to find someone and did not want to cause trouble. The old soldier saw the playing card tattoo on his wrist and immediately respectfully said thank you for serving the country. He was also an old comrade. The old soldier locked the entrance door and closed the iron window. The tattoo shop owner immediately understood that the person in front of him was not someone they could provoke. "What can I help you with?" "I'm looking for this person." Based on the clues, Hutch found the target's house. The thieves were a Mexican immigrant couple. Hutch did not say much. He directly used the gun but to hit the man's head, demanding they return the watch and the cat-shaped bracelet. The woman hurriedly returned the watch, but they really had never seen the bracelet. Hutch angrily thought he had to teach them a lesson. He pushed the man down and loaded the gun. At that moment, cries of a child came from the next room. Hutch opened the room door to look and saw that the couple's child had a congenital illness. They stole only to treat the child. Hutch immediately put away the gun and did not make things difficult for this family anymore. But the accumulated anger in his heart had nowhere to vent. Helplessly, he could only punch the wall hard. The scene switched to the bus. Because it was the last trip, there were only 3 passengers on the bus. Hutch sadly returned home. He thought this flame of anger would never explode, but unexpectedly, an off-road vehicle blocked the bus. Then several drunk guys got out. It seemed they had drunk quite a lot. They banged on the bus door madly. The driver helplessly had to open the door. Hutch sat in the last row. A cheerful hymn played in his head. The drunks carried wine bottles onto the bus, snatched a book from a passenger's hand, and stomped on it mercilessly. The passenger understood that it was better to swallow the anger and leave. The drunks did not let go and continued to tease the young girl with an innocent face. Hutch smiled strangely, stood up, and walked past them. The girl looked at him with pleading eyes. Hutch walked straight through the bus, took the phone that the driver was about to use to call the police, very politely invited the girl to get off the bus, then closed the door while he stayed. He took out a revolver and removed all the bullets. "I'll kill you all." The burly guys laughed uproariously, thinking that just one person was enough to deal with this old man. The guy with the braided hair struck first. Hutch steadily took a punch. He felt the pain to stimulate his wild instinct, then took 2 more punches. However, that was just the beginning. He wrapped the watch tightly around his wrist, pulled hard on the knife blade embedded deep in the flesh. Then came the real climax. Hutch was like a wild beast released from a cage, lunging into attacking the drunk crowd madly. 4 guys together threw him out of the bus. Hutch staggered up and returned to the bus, cutting the seat belt tied around the girl's arm as she got off the bus. He showed a ferocious face as if wanting to devour the drunks. It was all over. They rushed at him. One guy intended to use a gun for a surprise attack, but Hutch was not afraid at all. He directly broke the handrail, swung it to knock down his weapon, then continuously punched the head. The thug fell to the ground and began to breathe laboriously. Perhaps his trachea was broken. Hutch did not want to create a murder. After all, their mistakes were not worthy of death. So he picked up a soda bottle from the floor, used a knife to cut a slit in his throat, and inserted a straw to help him breathe. Tonight, Hutch had vented all the frustration accumulated over 20 years. However, trouble followed because the thug with the broken trachea was the younger brother of Yulian, the Russian mafia boss. The doctor said that his younger brother had severely damaged internal organs. The condition was not optimistic and might not be saved. Yulian was extremely furious. He casually grabbed a chair and went into the adjacent hospital room. Without saying a word, threw it straight at his brother's friend, asking him what exactly happened last night. When he learned that these useless guys were defeated by a single man, he completely did not believe it. One person defeated the whole group. Joking? Yulian exploded in anger again, using the chair to hit the subordinate's leg continuously. The braided hair guy picked up the man's bus card, which was stained with blood. After exercising his muscles last night, Hutch's mood was much better. The son asked where the wounds on his face came from, but Hutch did not tell. Those guys were much more miserable than Dad. He praised his son for being very brave last night. The son was stunned, secretly thinking if his dad took the wrong medicine today. At that moment, the phone rang. The contact called. "You've caused big trouble. Among the people you beat last night, one is Yulian's younger brother." Calls longer than 30 seconds could be traced. The contact asked Hutch to meet the barber. He would tell him who Yulian is. At first, Hutch did not care much and still went to work as usual. But throughout the day, he was distracted. In the afternoon, the contact continued to send messages urging him to meet the barber. After meeting, he would thank me. Hutch had to go to a barber shop. It was an intelligence transfer point for undercover agents. The barber gave him a stack of files. The files showed that Yulian was a dangerous man with many resources, suffering from standard antisocial personality disorder, a great villain. In addition, he managed the flow of hundreds of millions of dollars for the Russian mafia. It seemed like a good position, which also meant he had to work hard all his life to guard that huge amount of money. At the same time, Yulian was also checking Hutch's identity. The bus card showed that this person was just an ordinary middle-aged man, extremely normal. But how could an ordinary person fight 1 against 6? Yulian asked her to continue investigating. The female assistant had acquaintances at the Pentagon. The acquaintance received a threatening letter. The other party demanded he look up Hutch's identity information, otherwise they would release his private photos. But after entering the name, the system reported that it could not be accessed. He immediately went to the secret archive, finally found the documents about Hutch. However, most were blacked out with black pen. Only one word was clearly visible. The acquaintance sent the documents to the other side. The female assistant looked and her face turned pale, hurriedly packed her things, and ran away. "I quit. No need for salary. Good luck." Yulian realized this person was not ordinary and ordered his subordinates to act first, and loudly said to capture him alive. In the evening, Hutch's family was enjoying delicious lasagna when they suddenly noticed several cars parked on the other side of the road. His intuition told him the enemy was right in front. Hutch hurriedly led the family to the basement, asked his wife not to call the police, then locked the door and prepared to confront. The fully armed assassins approached. Hutch cut the electrical fuse. The house plunged into darkness. The assassins turned on flashlights at the same time, shot a bullet into the lock, broke the door, and rushed in. But after all, he was alone and had to face unpredictable hidden risks. The assassin used a taser to knock him unconscious and dragged him into the car trunk. When Hutch woke up, he saw his hands cuffed behind his back. He immediately broke his thumb, easily escaped the restraint. Then he endured the pain to reset the thumb joint. He took the fire extinguisher from the trunk, used his mouth to pull the safety pin, pushed the cup holder hard to spray dry powder filling the car compartment. The car lost control and crashed into a roadside pole. Hutch was seriously injured. The 3 assassins all died. He found the key to unlock the handcuffs and struggled to run home. Just as he was about to open the basement door, he discovered the house full of dead bodies. Looking at himself in the mirror with a bloody face, he did not want to scare the family, so he took a hot shower to clean his body. The moment he opened the basement door, his wife was extremely shocked. One hand, he hugged his wife tightly, the other covered his daughter's eyes. The son seemed not to believe this was his father's work. But the truth was before his eyes. It turned out his father had been hiding and waiting for the opportunity all this time. Hutch took the family to the car and told them to stay outside for a few days. His wife wanted her husband to explain clearly, but this was not the time. He only begged his wife to trust him one more time. After handling everything, he promised to explain clearly to her. After the family left, he opened the game console. Inside was all the wealth he had hidden carefully. He had poked the hornet's nest, so let the storm come even more fiercely. He set fire to burn the house and drove the neighbor's 1972 Dodge Challenger V8 9-liter engine, truly a flying machine, on the ground. He called his father. The war had escalated. The mafia might find him. Hutch warned his father to be careful. However, he worried unnecessarily because the old man was not ordinary either. Soon, 2 assassins sneaked into the nursing home but came to die. The assassin raised a Desert Eagle. The old man suddenly opened his eyes. The caregiver hurriedly ran into the room, but only saw him watching a movie. One hand, he covered the assassin's mouth. The other held the TV remote. Indeed, the older the ginger, the spicier. Hutch used dozens of gold bars to buy back the construction materials company to prepare for the upcoming battle. Sharpening bullets, stuffing nails into glass bottles, modifying hidden traps, drilling holes to bury grenades. Guns and ammunition filled the office. Then he carried a gasoline tank and single-handedly rushed into the mafia's lair. It could be said, meet anyone, kill anyone. Meet Buddha, kill Buddha. In a moment, the mafia assassins were all eliminated. He poured gasoline into the fire pipeline, activated the fire alarm to spread the gasoline throughout the money warehouse. He lit the fire. $100 million instantly turned to ashes. The scene switched to the nightclub. Yulian was passionately singing on stage. Hutch calmly enjoyed steak in the audience seats. Yulian approached him, daring to infiltrate his territory alone. Yulian greatly admired the opponent's courage. But Hutch was not a blind risk-taker. Actually, he had planned carefully. On the dining table was a directional bomb, with enough explosive power to destroy the entire place. Hutch suggested he wanted a private talk with Yulian. Yulian signaled his subordinates to leave. The 2 daring players stood facing each other to negotiate. Hutch directly admitted that the assassins he sent had all been defeated. Not only that, he also burned all the mafia organization's black funds. According to what Hutch knew, Yulian also wanted to escape that mess. Now the opportunity had come. They could end the war. Each pursued their own lifestyle. From now on, go their separate ways, or fight to the end tonight. Hutch uttered a warning. He would wait for Yulian's choice outside. However, Yulian was a big boss. How could he accept being provoked like that? What prestige would he have later? Hutch held the bomb and calmly walked through the crowd, then sat in the car waiting for information. He secretly hoped Yulian would let go, so his subordinates could save a few lives. Clearly, Yulian chose the wrong path. The deep instinct in him awakened. The 2 sides looked at each other with murderous eyes. A big battle was about to erupt. After an intense chase, Hutch successfully lured the enemy to the construction materials company. Yulian fired from a submachine gun. Bullets pierced Hutch's shoulder. He fell to the ground. The enemy continued shooting. If nothing unexpected, he would be riddled with holes. But at this moment, the glass on the upper floor shattered, the window revealing black gun barrels. The contact, Mr. Harry, risked rushing to relieve the siege. The old man also appeared with a handgun. Truly, father and son united in battle. Under the supporting firepower, the 2 safely entered the factory. The old man cursed. Damn it, I missed the days with bullets whizzing like this. Tonight we have to play a satisfying match. The father and son divided to attack, making the enemy unable to react. Hutch pressed the crusher button to crush the grenade. The leading assassin died miserably. Harry held the sniper rifle at the stairs, took down another at close range. When the enemy rushed, they accidentally stepped on traps. The remaining 3 were thrown up, dazed, and fell. Harry was like a god descending, 1 bullet piercing 2. Regardless of scientific probability, just watching was thrilling. The last one was strangled by steel wire. The assassin flew out the window, creating a smooth transition. The old man's shotgun still sharply Finally, the three gathered. Slow motion scene combined with light background music. This was romance dedicated to men. The assassins were all eliminated. Only Julian survived. This guy could dominate a territory not just by luck, but also by notorious brutality. With just a submachine gun, he almost reversed the situation, but he forgot the rule that villains must die. The situation was hanging by a thread. He stuck the bomb on tempered glass, held the glass as a shield and charged straight at Julian, mouth holding the grenade pin, and he had made up his mind. Julian died as dead as could be. Hutch had the protagonist's halo and was only lightly injured. After the battle, the three could not help but sigh that this time was a bit risky, but had to admit it was very spectacular. Hutch let the two withdraw first while he stayed to clean up. The FBI took him for interrogation. The investigator asked who he really was. Hutch silently lit a cigarette. He said, "I'm just an ordinary person." At that moment, the two investigators received a call. The atmosphere became tense. After half a minute of silence, the investigators turned off their phones one by one. This ordinary person had an extraordinary background, not someone they could provoke. The story today ends here. Thank you for following the movie.